What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the nerd.
Speaking of reactions,
yes.
Why wasn't you reacting to that 6-hour, cast announcement?
So here's the thing about that, right? I did not even. I was just like, I heard murmurings about what's going on. That Marvel got something going on today, and I was just like, all right, well. I didn't know it was a live stream. Now, my computer can't handle a live stream right now. I'm still setting up my new computer so I can actually do live streams. I'm trying to have that done and planned out by WrestleMania so I can go live for WrestleMania. But yeah, I was just like, I'm not. And then I had a couple friends tell me, including you, that was sitting there thinking like, yo, we was here for 5 to 6 fucking hours. I'm like, to do what?
Whoa. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. It was like, oh, Marvel's going to announce something big as Big Robert Downey Jr. coming to the thing. So I was like, okay. So then they went live and they started like doing the chairs. So I thought they was pulling out the chairs and then they was going to have like a one of them panels where like the actors just sitting there in the chairs, they just talking, answering,
yeah,
like all little. I thought the chairs was for. I thought they put out the chairs for them, and then I thought they was gonna put the chair like every 5 minutes to announce something, and then like the next hour all gonna be in the chairs just talking. No, none of that. It's nothing.
Yeah, no, we got none of that. So, also for those who probably don't know who he's referring to, Marvel had this grand announcement yesterday that it was going to talk about Avengers Doomsday. And for those who don't know, we're only a year out from Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday comes out May of next year, so we're close. Because we still got Thunderbolts coming out in May this year, and then we still got Fantastic Four coming out in July. We already had Captain America Brave New World come out on Valentine's Day. So we got 2 more Marvel movies, and we are in the middle of Daredevil, which I think has been good. I'll give my opinion about that later. But and we got
I will say though, I do have a problem with the way that they did that.
You talk about Daredevil or this Avengers announcement?
No, I would just be honest. It should be a slight spoiler, should it not? I mean, even though I know it's obvious.
Yeah.
But in the trailer, they're like, "Oh, some of the Thunderbolts ain't gonna make it. Somebody gonna die." But every single one of the Thunderbolts, except for one, is in it. So it's like, obviously we know who dies.
Yeah, fair point, right? So I have a couple things about this. So real quick, they had this whole thing, and somebody was like, this reminds me of Game of Thrones when they had the ice melting for like 7 hours before they revealed the release date for the next season. I was just like, there's no way I'm going to be invested. There's too much going on in life for me to sit down and invest 7 hours on a live stream watching ice melt. I can't do that. So watching them pull out chairs every 12 minutes for 27 chairs, especially when we were seeing people that we already knew should be in the movie in the first place, until like it really didn't start getting exciting until they started revealing X-Men characters. I'm talking about Fox X-Men characters. And I was just like, okay, now I reacted to the shortened version of it put together. I reacted to that, and I was excited when we got to like the X-Men parts and stuff like that. So real quick, I'm just going to give y'all a very brief, quick rundown because of the names that we've seen. Because they start the first show off with Chris Hemsworth, which is Thor. We have no particular. We have Anthony Mackie, who's the new Captain America. We have Vanessa Kirby, who's Sue Storm from Fantastic Four. Paul Rudd, which is Ant-Man. Florence Pugh, which is like was it?
Yelena?
Yeah, Yelena from the Thunderbolts. And then we have Wyatt Russell from the Thunderbolts, who's U.S. agent. Then we have Namor. I'm not even going to sit here and try to vouch my man's name. Simu Yu for
what you don't want to botch names.
You're right. I fucked that whole thing up. I did mess that whole thing up, but he is
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. I love Shang-Chi. Sebastian Stan, who is Councilman Stan from the Thunderbolts. Because if you saw Brave New World, you saw that Letitia Wright, who's the new Black Panther right now. Ebon Moss from who's the Thing, cousin from the Bear. Kelsey Grammer, who is Beast, who we seen at the end of the Marvels. Then we have Louis Pullman, who is the Sentry, plays Bob.
Whoa! We didn't see him. We didn't see the Beast, by the way.
We did see Kelsey Grammer's name on there.
No, we didn't see the Beast. That was some CGI. We didn't see him.
Here he go. CGI. Here he go. So, Danny Ramirez, who's the new Falcon. Joseph Quinn, who is Johnny Storm. David Harbour, who is Red Guardian from the Thunderbolts. Wilson Duke, who is M'Baku from Black Panther. Hannah John Kamen, who is Ghost. I was like, really?
So basically, all the Thunderbolts survived. Basically.
Yeah, literally the only thing we didn't see was Taskmaster, and I was like, really? Tom Hiddleston as Loki,
which is interesting.
Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. Sir Ian McKellen.
Is he gonna die in this movie again?
You know what? I got a theory. Hold that thought.
He died in like his last 5 movies.
He said, just wrap all my characters shit up, right? Gotta wrap all it up. Sir Ian McKellen as Magneto. Now, this is the one that really had me out my seat, right? Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler from arguably one of the best X-Men movies that they ever made, from X-Men 2, is coming back. Really?
Yeah.
Rebecca Romijn, who plays Mystique. James Morrison, which I'm a huge fan.
Before you get to that, I'm just kind of interested because I'm a practical person.
Yeah.
I still like practical effects. I don't know if they're gonna do it mostly CG. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll have to agree with you because I thought the Mystique look from the old movies, even the one Jennifer Lawrence was doing, I like that look because it was the process. It was the actual makeup. But as you can see, what they did with Beast at the end of the Marvels, it's possible. I don't know. I still think I would hope they still go back to the makeup, but they will probably put her in her old X-Men uniform. You know, that little white dress that she had on with the high heel boots. That's a possibility. I don't know. In Disney, I don't know if they'll have her naked like she was. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because technically that's what she is. She was naked, and then in First Class and all that, they put clothes on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna do that or not. James Morrison and
James Morrison. I'm actually excited for James Morrison so he can actually not be a bitch. We'll see.
Right. Look, I'm a huge Cyclops fan, so I was excited to see his name. Channing Tatum as Gambit. Then we get Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, and then we ended with Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom.
Which, in the video, I know you've seen the video. In the video, the thing that he did, that's such an Iron Man thing to do, though.
Okay. You see what I'm saying, right? And I'm thinking to myself, so when I seen this whole cast, right, I was on the first thing that came to my head was Avengers vs. X-Men. The first thing that came to my head was I felt as though they was going to shoehorn or push up, because I strongly believe Avengers vs. X-Men was going to be the Avengers movie after Secret Wars, going into the mutant saga. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But right now, with seeing this cast, I think what I wanted in Deadpool and Wolverine is what I'm going to get here. And I think with them having to change it from the Kang Dynasty to Doomsday, I do believe that it's going to be a lot of encouragements and a lot of multiverse things. And I think it's going to be a thing where it's going to be the X-Men of that Fox universe versus the Avengers. Because I think this movie is going to be the one that the Doom has to come. Because obviously Doom is probably going to have to be in the new Fantastic Four movie. And if you're going to have all the Fantastic Four members here, then it most likely that their universe, that 60s futuristic universe, is probably going to be destroyed by Galactus. So it's probably going to have them coming over here. That's probably the reason why you got all of them in this movie. When it comes to the Thunderbolts, honestly, I don't know what, because once again, we could be getting swerved here. We could be getting swerved. They could just be putting them in there and be like, ha, they're not really in here. They're placeholders for somebody else. Marvel has done that before. But I do believe that it looks like... no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Marvel has done it, but they haven't, like... I personally... Some names on there wasn't even worth the announcement. That's all I'm saying. Like the Ghost actress, no offense to her, but I wouldn't put her name up there for a cast announcement if I'm not, if she just want to be in there for a ha-ha moment,
Well, once again, I don't know. I really don't know what the ha-ha is. I do think that this movie is going to be basically Anthony Mackie forming his new version of Avengers. That's the only reason why I see Danny Ramirez in this movie. I see that. I see them recruiting. He could be trying to recruit members of the Fantastic Four, or that could be their own. That could be their own little side group. And then you get Thor back. You get the Winter Soldier back. I think he's going to be forming his almost like his West Coast, huh?
Honestly, I would like to see. I would like to see a struggle. Only reason I said because Anthony Mackie is like Cap's quote-unquote replacement, but Thor coming in, Thor I'm not taking advice from Falcon, Cap's sidekick. I want to know how that type of stuff will work out.
I do agree with you. I think it needs to be some kind of a struggle, but I do think that with the way the multiverse is imploding, they need to come up with a team to try to save their world. But I do think it's going to be a thing where the X-Men from their universe is like, listen, we got to save our world too. And right now, we don't know who the Avengers are because in our world, there is no Avengers. So they could be, in their mind, they could be, the evil ones. And in the X-Men, once again, people don't truly understand mutants yet. They could be the evil ones, which I think is going to cause a clash. Because once again, I don't think this is the final casting. I do think, because they teased on Twitter. I actually have it here. I think Kevin Feige and Robert Downey Jr. Did some teases for us on Twitter, and I actually saved it right here. So, Robert Downey Jr. tweeted after this thing came out. He was like, "That's what you call a deep bench of talent. Actually, it's more like a row, but an extra long one. That must be it, right?" And then Marvel Studios answered 7 minutes after his. I won't say. Was 7? What doesn't matter. They answered, "There's always room for more." ... So they obviously are going. They're going to add more people to the party, but I do think the heavy hitters like Hugh Jackman, maybe Ryan Reynolds, maybe, or
honestly,
Tobey Maguire, maybe.
I kind of would save Ryan Reynolds, but I kind of would want Hugh Jackman.
I think by principle, you had to get Hugh Jackman because of the X-Men, right? I think by principle, you have to do that. And look, Halle Berry's name wasn't even mentioned, or what's my lady's name for play Jean Grey from the X-Men movies?
They play Jean Grey. I don't know her name. Yeah, I don't know her name.
Okay, but actually,
I don't know her name, but I know what you're talking about. No, I would just say I don't know her name. But I know you're talking about Jean Grey.
That's her name, Frankie Jameson.
Oh my god! All right.
Yeah, Frankie Jameson and Halle Berry. There was that. I was like, you kind of gotta have Storm and Jean Grey, right? We're gonna have these.
Honestly, and we being completely honest.
Yeah,
I don't care. If we being completely honest.
Okay, maybe not Jean Grey because she's Phoenix, and I mean, we're looking at cosmic level threats here, and I don't know if they're necessarily ready for stuff like that. Even fans were saying huh?
I'm just gonna be honest with you. James Marsden and Alan Cumming was good enough for me.
Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen is great for me because I'm a huge Magneto and Charles Xavier fan. So I was like, when I heard that name.
Let's be honest though. We know Ian McKellen is not have no fight scenes. And if he do, all he doing is waving his hand back and forth. It's not like James Marsden. I actually feel like he gonna get in and do some stunts. Is what
he's gonna do some
Channing
stuff.
Tatum's gonna actually get in there and do stunts.
But Magneto, when does Magneto do that? He doesn't need to do that.
That's what I'm saying. He don't need. He just waves his hand back and forth. He don't like seeing him is cool, but he's not gonna be having no action. He's not gonna do nothing that's gonna make you say, "Dang, that was cool." Unless he just waving his hand. Like, I feel like
I disagree with you on that one. Magneto gonna do some.
So you think he can do it, but I'm saying he doesn't have to move to do cool stuff. But I'm saying James Marsden cares about Cyclops so much. I feel like he wants to redeem himself. That I feel like he wants to do different action stuff that he couldn't that they weren't doing back in the day. That's what I'm trying to like.
Oh yeah,
I feel like James Marsden himself. I feel like James Marsden himself wants like a Alan Cumming X2 type of like scene. He wants people to say, "Oh." He wants people to say Cyclops is cool. Like I feel like he wants people to see Cyclops in a different light than they had him in before. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, but I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100% on that one. So I would definitely say the same thing, and that's why I think this is going to be the movie that's going to be the tribute to the past X-Men cast that I wanted Deadpool, because once again Deadpool was giving tribute to the old Fox stuff. Damn, I caught you on the sneeze. Bless you.
Sorry.
Okay, no. Probably everything you're saying is 100% right. I do believe that he wants to go out there and do that. I think this is going to be the tribute to the X-Men that I wanted Deadpool to be. Deadpool was the tribute to the Fox universe, because we gave tribute to all them old Fox characters, especially like some of the low level ones. And I was like, "Where's my X-Men?" You know. But I think they already had the plan, like, yo, we're going to save that because it's big enough team. We're going to save that for Avengers Doomsday. And why not kind of low-key turn it to like a X-Men versus Avengers type thing, opposed to wait to the Mutant Saga? Because let's be real here. The Mutant Saga, we're probably going to get it. We're probably going to run it back, but we're probably going to run it back with the new version of the X-Men. Whoever Marvel casts as the new version of the X-Men, that's what's probably going to happen in the Mutant Saga. But right now, for that class, like, they need a great send-off. And I think this movie is going to be their swan song, like their great send-off. Because you're going to have to probably get rid of them to open up the door for other members that have not been cast yet. Like, the Spider-Man, that's probably Secret Wars. They're probably going to save that for Secret Wars. You know, we haven't seen Hawkeye. There's a lot of names that we haven't seen. We haven't even seen Chris Evans, who we know is going to come back for one of these movies. So, we also got that concept art of the new T'Challa, maybe. All that's probably going to be saved for Secret Wars, but Doomsday is probably going to be kind of like how Infinity War was the whole setup and the defeat, where Secret Wars is the redemption type of movies. Like one movie broke into two parts in a way. I think that's how this is going to be. But none of this matters. None of this matters unless one thing happens. And you know what that is?
What is it?
How Dr. Doom is portrayed. How does Robert Downey Jr. do Dr. Doom? Robert Downey Jr. is an Academy Award-winning actor. It ain't about him acting. It's just about, am I going to see Tony Stark up there as Doom, or am I going to see Dr. Doom? You feel me?
I feel like they're going to go with the Tony Stark route, because isn't Chris Evans in this too?
No, the Chris Evans name was not announced yet.
But they said he was in it, or is it Secret Wars he was in?
Probably Secret Wars. They even announced Tom Holland.
Well, I think Tom Holland is filming something else right now. I do know they announced Chris Evans for one of the two movies, so it's probably Secret Wars. Yeah. But they did actually announce Chris Evans, so I'm assuming it's just Secret Wars that they announced him for, and not the other one.
But it could be another, like, remember in the comic books when Captain America becomes Nomad, which is a man without a country, and it's like it's like evil version. So it's like, well, if we're gonna get Wyatt Walker in here as U.S. agent, then I can see them bringing back.
It's Doomsday.
Say what?
It's Doomsday. Yeah,
it's Doomsday. So if I can see U.S. Agent being this one, I can see Doom getting a
Because they
evil
announced,
version of Cap.
I can see that because they announced him and they announced Captain Carter, or the the lady that plays Captain Carter.
Okay, yeah, Sharon Carter, right?
No, Peggy Carter.
Like Agent Carter.
Well, I don't know. It's just the actress. They just said Chris Evans.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So at the point they was like, it's gonna be Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Haley Atwell. Those was the first 3 names that they announced.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
but I don't know why they didn't announce him when they already said he was in it way back in December.
I guess they want to add an extra 45 minutes onto their live stream. Well,
why?
You got to add 3 more cheers.
It's already 6 hours.
Yeah, and honestly, I do think that because once again, a lot of fans thought that it was like we spoiled a lot of what's coming up. And I'm like, it's a possibility that they did. I don't necessarily know, but Marvel usually has a plan, at least when it comes to his Avengers movies. Recently, not so much, but recently when it comes to the Avengers movies, they usually kind of have like some kind of a plan. And I do think that they did leave off big names because you don't want to give too much away. I do think when we get closer to because once again, we're still a year and 2 months away from this movie. It's in production right now, and this is a Russo brothers thing where they're going to record that and Secret Wars back to back. How they did in Infinity War and Endgame. They recorded them back to back. So you can just get all this out the way now. And so you can have all these actors. Because once again, a lot of these actors, like Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen, are they in their 90s, 80s and 90s. You have got time. It's not on the side. You have got to get what you can get now. Okay, a lot of these actors have been around for so many years, so many things. Like you got whatever you can do, get it together now. So I see that.
How do you think Magneto would look? Like, do you think he'd just wear his little cape, or do you think they'll try to be like they don't quote unquote have it no more, or you think they coming in here and they just the shit still?
I think honestly they're going to come in as the shit. But I think he's going to have his comic book look with the long hair, like Magneto used to in the 90s. Where Magneto had his long hair.
All right.
Yeah, and then I think Charles is going to look like he did in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I think that's how it's going. And once again, you got to understand, these are Magneto and Charles. I don't know if they're from the Fox universe or if they're from that universe that Monica Rambeau ended up in at the end of the Marvels. Where, Kelsey Grammer's Beast was at. Because that Beast looks different than the Fox Beast, obviously. So it's like...
I honestly, though, if the universe Monica Rambeau went to, I would have used that as the new X-Men. I would have started putting casting new X-Men in that. Like, it would have been Beast, but it would have been a new guy playing Beast, and that just would have been the X-Men universe, is what I would have done.
Yeah.
But,
Well, like I said, it's possible. We don't necessarily know what the plan is, but it's still, it rides on die. It's either make or break when it comes to Robert Downey Jr. and how this Doom is portrayed. Because a lot of fans are not really hype about this kind of... Because it seemed kind of desperate. It's like, okay, well, Jonathan Majors fucked up, and now we got to bring back... Because we don't have Tony Stark anymore, and Marvel has been falling off, falling down on the quality, so let's bring back Robert Downey Jr. It's like, okay, but I really want to see a Doctor Doom, not a Tony Stark variant that is Doctor Doom. You feel what I'm saying? Because I think he's just going to go back to Tony Stark isms.
Even though he did turn into him, but it's like still I kind of wanted somebody else. I wanted a Victor Von Doom, not a Doom that just took Tony Stark's dead body over.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? So, once again, it makes a race. Depends on how they portray the character. I think he's going to have a cameo in the new Fantastic Four movie. So, even though they announced the cast, a lot's going to ride on what the Thunderbolts is going to be like. Because, once again, you got Sentry in that movie, and it looks like Sentry's playing the villain, but or the Void. We don't necessarily know because we don't know. There's still an asterisk by the name of the Thunderbolt, so we don't know what that asterisk means. So there's a lot of things that we still don't know. We just got the cast right now to help us get us excited for it because once again, We got 2 Avengers movies for back-to-back years, and right now, 2026 is going to fly. I mean, this year, it's moving kind of slow right now, but next thing you know, we're going to look up, and it's going to be time for Avengers. We're going to get that first teaser or that first trailer probably by November, December. And
you would think we'd get something. You think we'd get something close? It's a certain movie we ain't even got nothing for it.
Not a damn thing. What the hell? I mean, we even get no more set photos for that.
Just like,
sorry, y'all. We also off on a tangent here. I was saying, but yeah. So overall, though, I think I'm still excited to see it, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what the prospect is, because right now, this little teaser right here gets me excited to be like, okay, I like that Marvel feeling again. In 2 months, let me go see the Thunderbolts and see what it's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And see and then finish watching Daredevil and get back into Marvel again. And that's the one positive thing I like about it.